person is straight. I think I'd feel suicidal if someone said I look straight though, so that's awesome. If someone was like, you look like you love men in a straight way, I'd be like, I'm gonna fucking, alright. Whatever, it's fine. Men are cool, whatever. It's been an interesting couple weeks, right? For no, certain event recently. And I don't know, every time I'm out driving, I get these intrusive thoughts, and I'm like, that's a nice ditch. What if I just, I don't know, like if my family's gonna get crime scene photos, I want them to be nice and scenic, right? Like, by like a nice lake or something, and they'd be like, this is how she wanted to go out, yeah. And it's been a rough time for her, I also, I just finished up a semester in college, and I went to this college out in a little country town out in like Trenton, Missouri, like an hour and a half away. And I was driving to school one day, and I saw, they have a big Amish population out there, so I saw like a little horse and buggy going down the road. And this was like a few days after the election, and I was like, do Amish people vote? Like, is that something they do? So when I got to school, I Googled it, and not only do they vote, but they had a big turnout this year and voted for a specific someone. I was like, okay. So I'm driving back, and again, those intrusive thoughts. I saw a horse and buggy coming down the road, and I was like, what if I just, I don't know. But I wouldn't. I could never hurt an innocent creature. The horse did nothing. I wouldn't do that to them. And hey, Amish furniture, god damn it, is it sturdy? All right, we gotta keep them around for something. It's fine. Give me a table and you can call me a slur, whatever, it's fine. Hey, quid pro quo, I don't know. But yeah, I can't read my notes. I don't know. Do you guys, does anybody smoke weed in here? Anybody like to smoke weed?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I don't. And because, it's not that I don't want to, guys, I want to. Like, it seems like so much fun, guys, I really do. But I can't. What I can do, I eat edibles, so like I do get it somehow, but I can't smoke weed because it's too easy to overdo it, And if I overdo any kind of THC, anything like that, I run the risk of triggering this condition I have called freaking the fuck out. And it's not necessarily a contagious condition, but if it happens to me, I will also make it your problem, Like, I will ruin the vibes so unbelievably fast. Record time, truly. Like, everyone can be having a good time, and I'll just be like, does anybody know how to take vital signs? Because I think my pulse is dangerously low, I don't know. Like, what are the signs of a stroke, by the way, guys? What? I don't know, If we're making a little bar run, maybe by the hospital, just to check in for a second. Sounds like it'd be fun to me, it's fine. I do kind of have like freaking the fuck out condition though. I have generalized anxiety disorder, which is cool. And I used to get really bad panic attacks. And the first panic attack I got, I was like 13, and it was terrifying. Like, I thought it was dying. Like, my vision went black, my hearing went, I got all shaky, my heart was racing. And I told my dad all this that was going on. And he was like, oh my God, hop in the car, we're gonna go to the hospital. And I think that's a good litmus test to see if someone loves you. Because if you say, I think I'm dying, and they're like, I'm calling an ambulance, they love you. If they say, hop in the truck, they're willing to risk it, Like they say you can't put a price on a life. My dad would argue it's an ambulance fee, and I get it. We're all balling on a budget, I'm like, Dad, I know, I can't afford the new shoes I want, and you can't afford my life. It's fine. It's all equal. I get it. I totally get it. But I did too. I went to the hospital. When I got there, there was this nurse there. And again, I think I'm dying. And I'm freaking out. I'm just looking for comfort, right? And I look up to this nurse, and I'm like, am I gonna die? And she goes, one day? Terrible response to that, by the way. I don't know if you ever come across a thinks they're dying child. Don't say that. Lie. Even if you think they're dying, Because like it did kind of like snap me out of it though, unintentionally. She said that and I was like, what? Why? That was a crazy thing to say. All right. And it bothered me for a long time. And then I realized like, oh, she's a nurse in the ER. definitely at some point early in her career, a kid was like, am I gonna die? She was like, no. And that kid fucking died. So she's like, I'm sticking to facts from now on, okay? I don't know, it's between you and a higher power. I don't know what's going on, kid. So sorry. No, I do have a girlfriend. You can say scary things to her, don't forget. And I love her very much. She's very wonderful. But we did get in like a little bit of a kind of a tiff recently. She wouldn't let me go raw dog. She wouldn't rub my feet unless I put socks on first. And it did. I was like, come on, you know. But it was fun because I got to like role play being a shitty boyfriend. I was like, but babe, it feels so much better. Uncovered, you know? And she was like, no. I was like, but come on, it's my birthday. And she doubled down. She was like, no. She was like, you gotta wrap that thing up if you want me to touch it. And I was like, all right, I called her bluff. She thought that would fully deter me. Nay. I went and I put socks on and she pounded these puppies and I had a great birthday. All right, thank you guys so much. Have a good night, y'all.
Get the gun from Marissa, everybody. Coming up next, very awesome comic around the scene, Cassie Duncan, everybody. Cassie Duncan.
So 9/11, am I right? Isn't that crazy? That joke kind of flew in out of nowhere, and then so. Is it relatable to anybody else? Did anybody else have like a 9/11 obsessed childhood? Was that a thing that you guys experienced? Like, look, I know it all fucked us up. Like, I think you guys all look about my age, but like, it fucked my parents up that it became like a part of our household, like year round. I don't know if this is relatable to anybody else right now. This was the fucking worst. And as growing up as a kid with this, as a millennial, I thought it was normal just because that's what we did as kids. My parents were so obsessed, like not in a conspiracy theory way, which is weird. It's like the one conspiracy theory they don't believe in. And it's like, oh, you thought Michelle Obama was a man, but somehow you think this all happened exactly as we were told. All right, that's cool. That's cool, Mom and Dad. So no, this isn't relatable. You've never gone over to your parents' house and you see your dad crying at his laptop watching the towers fall in March. Like that's not a thing you've ever experienced. This was weird as hell. My parents, they love Christmas and they go all out for it and they do the same thing for 9/11. It's insane. It's a 4 more sleeps till 9/11. Like, when's the 9/11 in July sale? What the hell? Like, I kid you not, this year, my parents got 9/11 yard decor. I was like, what the fuck? Like a 6-foot long vinyl fucking banner with the scene. You've seen it. They have the scene on it. Just like never forget. So it's like, my mom did that boomer thing where she took a picture of it in her front yard and made it her temporary profile picture on Facebook. I was like, Mom, what the fuck is going on here? They have the 9/11 holiday album, which is just that Toby Keith song over and over again. I mean, it's good old Tobes. That's what we called them. Good old Tobes. So, oh my God, they're so, like, okay, we literally had a 9/11 blanket in our living room just for our guests to see when they came over. I wish this was a bit. I wish I was making this up. This was my life. But it gave me comedy, so that's fine. But like, literally, I mean, this whole blanket, again, with the scene on it, and as a kid, I thought it was all, like, normal. It was always there. I found it ironic that it was an Afghan, but guests would come over. My mom was like, oh, you guys should use the 9/11 blanket. It can't melt steel beams, but it'll warm you up. So that's a dumb one. I know. I was thinking about it though. My parents are very hardcore conservative people, and they hate electric cars that aren't made by Elon Musk. So they're like, oh, we don't like electricity. I think my parents are just mad that like so much fuel was wasted that day on 9/11. They're like, didn't even melt the steel beams. God damn it! It's like tear down my dad's eyes. I was thinking about this, guys. How insane would it be if Trump was president during 9/11? Can you imagine that speech? That tragedy happens, and the guy that's supposed to come out and unite us as a country and kind of maybe calm us down after this, the dude comes out there and is like, 9/11, biggest day presidents ever had. Google it. Google it. Sorry, my impressions are horrible. I think that makes it funnier. I just want to let you know, Trump Tower is still standing. Still standing. But yeah, biggest day presidents ever had. Beautiful day. Beautiful. The skies were clear today. It was a beautiful day. And then he's just like, the buildings were made out of beautiful American materials, but so were the planes. So, that's about as good as it gets with that Trump impression. That's awful. I, as a trans woman, am disappointed of the bottom surgery that Ground Zero got that day. You lost 2 dicks and I can't get rid of one? What the fuck? Like, she's gaping now and always wet. That joke did kill my parents. That joke. It's so fucked up. When I asked Ground Zero, I was like, how did you afford that bottom surgery? And it's like, oil. I want you to know that bottom surgery part, I thought of that coming out of sleep at 3 in the morning one night. That's how dumb my brain is. I wake up at 3 in the morning and my first thought is, hey, write that joke. And I woke up my girlfriend to tell her too. And she's like, I fucking hate this relationship. Let's get away from politics. I know, it's very political here. We stoked for Project 2025? Are we fucking ready, guys? No safety, no regulations. We're talking hurricanes hitting Kansas City. We're talking no railings on slides anymore. It's gonna be a good time. Oh my gosh. As a trans woman, I do have to care about Project 2025, because we're the first to go. Us and Timothy Chalamet, because conservatives have a hard time telling the difference. So they're like, I can't tell if she's one of them, but I didn't like Willy Wonka, so kill her. Oh shit, it's gonna be, oh god, that's just gonna be so fucking wild, man. We're gonna lose so many people, because there's gonna be that trans witch hunt when they try to make us illegal, dude. It's gonna be like the 50s. It's gonna be like the 50s with commies. They're just gonna be like, did you know Lucille Ball was trans? What the fuck? It was all that Vita Vita Benjamin. Guys, I don't think you realize how good that joke was. Somehow that mixed in the fact that she was one of the most famous people that was accused of being a commie, and it was a cute little I Love Lucy joke to end it. That was great. You guys are so lucky. If you're wondering, my pronouns, they are she, her, or as my grandparents pronounce it, he, him. So, I guess however you want to say it, Honestly, coming from a big conservative family, that was one of the hardest parts of coming out, was going to my grandparents' house for the first time, that first Christmas, coming over. That was crazy. Because my grandparents, they're not just conservative, they're QAnon people. We often talk about defending Jerusalem in the end times. Is that relatable to anybody else? I was like, Grandma, I think with your cancer and Grandpa's dementia, you guys aren't defending anything. You're not defending this dinner table, all right? Jerusalem in the end times. But yeah, that's just kind of what our family was. So imagine their trans granddaughter coming over to their place. I was like, well, this is gonna suck, but at least I'll get some good material out of it. Joke was on me. It was the best time we ever had. This is the best fucking time that we ever had. And I really thought my grandpa was gonna come up to me and be like, so are you cutting it off? No, he was like, what's living on the plaza like? I was like, what the fuck? Means I'm better than you. The only thing I didn't like about that experience with my grandparents is my grandma kept referring to trans people as the transgenders. She's like, oh, you're one of those transgenders now. And I was like, wow, that's when I realized that the hard R really is more offensive. That's crazy. Oh, if you didn't like that joke, I actually have a friend who has a black friend. So, have you ever thought about that? Have you ever? That's a good fucking joke. The one black person here loved it. So I like, that's how I like. Such a diverse room, everybody. This is cool. Oh shit. Before I get out of here, I know you got some questions on your mind, and you're like, does she have a nickname for her penis? Yes, I do, everybody. My princess one, if you will. I nicknamed it Trans Agenda. Because I'm shoving it down your throat. I'm Cassie Duncan. You all have a great night.